It is once again time for a check of the weather with Nebraska Extension Ag climatologist and Market Journal Chief Meteorologist Al Dutcher. Al, it appears that August will be setting records in terms of how dry it has been, not the kind of records we like to set. Do you see things shifting at all as we kick off the month of September?
Well, Alex, the dry conditions pretty much continued as they have been for pretty much the last 2 months. We did see a little scattering of moisture around the state. Most concentrated areas over this last 7-day period in the Omaha Metroplex area, a little bit of south central and central Nebraska, even that was a little scattered and ended up in the northwestern panhandle. Outside of that, most locations did not receive much in the way of significant moisture, less than a quarter inch, and in a lot of locations, once again, zero precipitation. As we go through the next 7 days, it looks like we are going to deal with at least some opportunity for precipitation in the near term, and then we return back to a drier conditions in anticipation of potentially a trough moving into the western United States as we get into around the 9th or the 10th. That would produce some significant moisture across portions of the central United States. So as we go to the upper air miles, the first thing I want to draw your attention to is we're going to using some new graphics. Our data graphics package kind of fell apart on us. So these are from NCAR. So basically what it's showing is as we go into the day-to-day, we got this high pressure system with troughing to the west. We've got a little bit of a moisture feed that will start to come up from the south. And as we go into the day as tomorrow, we're going to see a little piece of that energy moving across the northern plains, and that's going to allow frontal boundary to start pushing southeastward into the Nebraska region, which will allow some moisture to start building up, and potentially the southeastern part of the state will see some moisture with this system. As we get into the day on Monday, we are essentially looking at that trough basically passing by us and the ridge trying to reestablish itself as that trough out of the west just cannot dig down far enough. So we're going to start to return back into temperatures moving up into the upper 80s to the lower 90s east, and we might be just a tad bit warmer to the west. And those conditions continue all the way through the week as we basically sit in high pressure. Again, that trough is to our west. Most of that energy moving up into Canada. Very dry conditions over the Central Plains region. We do have a hurricane that was likely to move up the Baja Peninsula that will bring moisture into the southwest and eventually into this trough as we go into next weekend, but that's a few days away. As we go into the day on Wednesday, this ridge starts to show signs of trying to break down a little bit as this energy rides up over top of it and starts to push the top of the periphery of the ridge down, but still our temperatures are going to be warm, nothing in the way of any significant moisture expected. And then as we get into Thursday, we start to see this trough making some inroads. A little bit of that moisture comes into the southwest, and we might start to see a little bit of scattered precipitation activity, isolated as it may be in southwest and south central Nebraska. And I think more importantly, as we get into the day on Friday, we'll see this trough starting to make inroads in the Pacific Northwest and the northern plains, and that will start to draw a frontal boundary through the state. And that does appear to be some type of a focus for precipitation, and CPC has been getting very aggressive with that precipitation. We'll see whether or not it verifies. In fact, the 8 to 14-day forecast from next Thursday to the following Tuesday does keep the warmer temperatures in place, but keeps the core of that heat to our east. But in terms of precipitation, first time in a couple months we've been able to show the entire state of Nebraska with above normal chance for precipitation, so we'll see whether or not it verifies.